it exposed me to another level. Like, yo, what I was doing with Bishop Walker is amazing, but there's even another level from that. And so I'm in singing in theaters like the Mogadorf Theater. I never even heard of none of this stuff. I'm like, she took us to sing. We did Christmas for the Pope. I'm singing in front of the Pope. A kid from Brooklyn from the projects is singing in front of the Pope. I'm like, yo, there's nothing. That's when I became in the mind frame like, yo, there's nothing I can't do.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to KROSS BARZ, the podcast where we discuss interesting topics with alternative perspectives. I'm your co-host, Big O. Have with me.
Hey, Tanae is back in the building with our guest for today, Mr. Jason Hendrickson, a.k.a. Pastor J, a.k.a. J-Hen, a.k.a. the man of all things. Let's go. Give it up for Jason Hendrickson.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. Wait a minute. Did you call him Pastor Play? That's how you said Pastor what?
I said Pastor J.
Oh, Pastor J.
Yeah.
Pastor J.
Oh, okay. I don't think you understand what you said. I'm gonna leave that alone. Let's just go.
I can't.
Pastor J, huh? Okay.
Come on, get to it.
Okay. Yeah, all right. It's like that was a double entendre. I don't know if you know that. Like Pastor J? No, Pastor J. Oh, wait a minute. All right, because that must be a nice church to be in. But anyway, let's get to it. First and foremost, Mr. Henderson, where are you from? Hendrickson. Oh, my bad. Hendrickson. Oh, damn, you right. Oh, I can't. I gotta put my. Anybody who went to the $1.25 tree store, you can get these courtesy the Big O collection. All right, that's what I call that whole little tree. You got the Big O collection.
But you let's do it.
Yeah. That's the $1.25. Yeah. Oh no. These I need for the read because I was like, I couldn't even read your name. Oh, there we go. All right. So now we good. So Jason, let's say, where are you from?
Brooklyn, New York, all day.
Brooklyn, New York, all day, born and raised. And tell us, what is it that you do? What is that? How the world knows you?
I am senior pastor of the Restoration Tabernacle Church. Church we planted 10 years ago, 2012, and also entrepreneur. Got my own clothing line. I'm a published author, music producer, Grammy Award-winning drummer, Grammy Award-winning songwriter, father, grandfather, just a young man that loves God and loves life, man.
Man, I love that, man. In the catches, which of the title that you cherish the most?
Which title do I cherish the most?
Of the things that you just mentioned, because there's a lot of titles in the things that you just said.
Grandfather, man.
You a grandfather?
Oh, grandfather.
Yeah. Are
you a pop or are you a granddaddy?
They can't call me grandpa. They gotta call me papa.
Okay. All right.
Wait. There's some other questions that just popped in, fam. I got DDD. All right, so anybody who know who I've been, I got you say something, I react because I wasn't prepared for that. Now, fam, do you got just for me or you just don't really care about life? Because I got all types of gray. Yours looking blacker than a mug.
My joint is gray a little bit, but it if you see it down here, then started turning blonde because I got my birthmark. I got a blonde patch in my hair.
Oh,
I guess it's coming through in the beard now. So
okay,
rays come through. I'm a rock 'em. I just want it full.
Oh no, I don't want none of this. This to me. It seems like life is getting stressful.
Nah, that's the new wave right there, man.
Yeah, the silver foxes. Them silver foxes to be on TikTok. Fox. Them brothers be like,
Yeah, nah, mine. I got way too many stragglers.
When I cut my hair off and the gray hair, I don't like it, man. It gets too much attention. I keep my joint dyed because
the gray gets too much attention.
You want to keep the wig raw.
It's a whole nother
level.
Oh, okay.
Oh, sugar that. Wait a minute.
I'm like,
all right. Well, listen. We gotta discuss this off the air.
Go ahead, Big O.
Oh no, because I'm dying to be as a sugar daddy. But I'm like, what?
Well, you can only be a sugar daddy if you're giving out sugar.
Yeah, gay work.
No, I'm married to a crazy. I'm married to a crazy lady. She already let me know.
I'm a tail.
Yeah, she
gonna edit that part out, so you ain't gotta sleep in the
house. She cutting the people. You're like, she a cutting. I'm dead serious.
Yes, sir.
Like she's like, no, I just want you to be wounded. She don't want me to die. She just want me to wound me. It's like, yo, all right. So you have a lot of titles, and Pop is the one that you tend to cherish at this point. But let's talk about how do you get some of these titles. So you're from Brooklyn, New York, and were you born and raised? And what high school did you come from out of Brooklyn?
I went to 2 high schools because the first one I got kicked out. I started a racial riot.
Oh, so that was back in what, 95?
No, right around 1990, because I graduated in 92.
Okay.
High school. So I grew up in projects called Cypress Hills Projects.
Yeah, I know that.
And everybody always thought I was Dominican for some strange reason.
You brown skin, you probably talk real fast.
S-curls, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, you had waves too?
Yeah, I had the wave, had the S-curl.
Only thing you missing. One thing you missing. Did you have go to? Do you have a go to?
No go to.
Oh, okay. I'm about to say you Dominican. Like if you had all that and a go to, you Dominican fan.
Yeah. So these Puerto Rican cats tried to front on me, and I was that guy that never had to fight. Yeah. My boys would always, and because again my blonde patch, they called me Natural. So they screamed out, "Yo, Natural about to have a fight on the 2nd floor." The whole school cleared out. Everybody ran out their classes, and it just turned real ugly. And I got kicked out of the school, and I had to go to an alternative high school.
If your name was City Ad, so if your name was Natural in 1990s, were you a part of the blood, or not the blood, excuse me, the gods and the earths? Because you was in Brooklyn named Natural?
Nah, the Decepticons.
Oh, okay. That's a whole nother story. I might want to avoid that. I heard of that. I'm familiar. Okay. All right.
I don't know Decepticons. Is that Transformers? Is that
so before Bloods and Crips got there, like right in the mid 80s, 18 there. So many crews and Cream Team, Supreme Team, all that. Decepticons was basically a team of cats that could rob, but they was kind of cool. Yeah. And they matter of fact, the ones that I thought many of them turned into were Lost Boyz in Queens.
Oh, and that's crazy. And it's bugged out because years later, I was the Lost Boyz drummer. I was on tour for a long time.
So
Mr. Cheeks, did they
yeah. Oh yeah. We gonna get into that. Yeah. So now you got kicked out. You had to go to the alternative Brooklyn. So I assume you were labeled. You were labeled as troublemaker, problem child, something. Yeah. And I know that probably didn't sit with you well.
Well, what it did was it gave me a different avenue, because that was my reputation my whole life in school. I went to a gifted and talented junior high school, Philippa Schuyler, and they wanted to throw me out of there because I was just always, now looking back, I was too smart for a lot of these schools, really. And the work was boring to me. So I just got mischievous. And thank God I had parents that understood the level of creativity that I had, and they channeled it into music. So music really saved my life, because once I started playing drums and singing and all that, it kind of calmed me down. And I was, honed in on that. And it became something that took me from the projects to the Eiffel Tower to singing for the Pope, and just turned my life into something that I never dreamed of. So, thank God that I had a set of parents that was able to see, he's not challenged, he's talented. And they helped, guide me along the way. And I'm doing what I'm doing today because of them.
Awesome. So now when you saying that, you got into some things because, school, you didn't see the relevance of what they were teaching and your future per se. Now let's look into your community. So you grew up in you said East New York, but then before you said Bed-Stuy. So so I know in that area during the 90s, it's kind of a little tough. The crack epidemic was fledgling like a fire at that time.
Yeah.
So now, and at the same time, because of what you just divulged to me, you were part of a street gang as well. Yeah. So now you have these things going against you, but you use music as an outlet. So as the music got you as an outlet, how were you able to say, all right, I'm gonna leave these people alone and separate yourself? Because that's usually the biggest thing as far as teenagers are concerned, being able to separate themselves from their peers and be able to say, I need to go this way. Because some of them just have that loyalty, like, I'm gonna stay with y'all and I'm gonna just ride y'all to the grave and to the penitentiary. Yeah. Even though it's like, you know, you were smart enough to not be there, but you just went along. So what was the thing besides, you said music, but what was that in you that didn't allow you to say, I'm gonna keep on going with the Decepticons? Because if y'all don't know, y'all just don't know. Do some research. But them dudes was them dudes. You know.
What did it for me, I was blessed to start playing for one of, if not the biggest gospel artists in New York, from New York, Bishop Hezekiah Walker and Love Fellowship. And I was never here anymore. Once I started playing for him, I started traveling.
Oh, you
15
traveling.
years old.
Yeah.
So my mind got exposed to a different demographic of what I was used to, because, you know, in Cyprus, I was just used to pissy elevators and pumps, and, you know, stepping over our security guards, the crackheads at the door downstairs, you know. And when I woke up one day, I was in Beverly Hills. Next, I'm in Paris. I mean, all over the place. And I'm like, yo, this is crazy. And what Bishop Walker did for me, he showed me that, yo, regardless of where you come from, you don't have to stay there. Because he's from Fort Greene.
Pause. Hold up, he from Fort Greene?
Yeah, he from Fort Greene. And to
you know 50 Cent, he knew 50 Cent?
Nah, 50
from Fort Greene.
Oh, you talking about the original 50?
Yeah, yeah. Oh, no, I listen, fam.
Oh, you got Brooklyn history.
Yeah. I know some things.
Oh yeah,
I've been around some things. Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So he just showed us that, you know, the world is bigger than your local demographics. Gotcha. And once I got turned on to traveling, I was like, nah, I don't want to do that no more, because my homies getting locked up for 15, 20 years. I was like, that ain't for me, bro.
I know exactly what happened. Yeah, you saw a different type of young lady. Now, we're going to get into that. Yeah, I know what you saw. I know what you saw.
When I went overseas.
Oh, yeah, my fault. We got to discuss that.
It was something else.
So tell me, how does a 15-year-old young man travel in the world with one of the biggest gospel artists? Because during the late 80s and the 90s, that's 15? When 15.
You said 15?
15, 1-5. So during that, so right there, because he graduated, so I could do the math. So in the late 80s, this man, because remember, during the late 80s and early 90s, gospel hit an explosion.
Oh, yeah.
Because before gospel was technically, you know, like, I'll give my little history. Like, some people knew the Clark sisters because they transcended, but then you start saying Tremaine Hawkins, you be like, you gotta know gospel. Say, oh, you know the Hawkins family?
Yeah.
Like, you know these people? You had to know some and pay attention when your grandma was singing. But then during the late 80s, and what's my man down here in Charlotte?
John P. Key.
John B. Key. He started getting a lot, and then Hezekiah, McClurkin. So these people, and then Kirk Franklin just kicked the door off the hinges. Yeah. So now you're a part of that explosion, expansion part. Yeah. So how does a 15-year-old kid control himself? Because I know when I used to go to church, girls. So you was going to the mega church. So how do you be like this, hit the jammy, bang it, and then you look at that, Tina.
You gotta go.
Man, 15 over there.
Gotta go back
hold
to
on.
the parents. Gotta go
See
back
me?
to the parents.
Hold up. Nah. Cause I know he probably did. He put a little glitter on him because you know that's what y'all entertainers be doing. They be doing little slide stuff that we ain't know about. Like they'll put Vaseline on their eyebrows. You're like, yo, why is Joyce just like none of the hair stick up? They like got little tricks and stuff. So I want to know at 15, how did you control yourself? Because you should have 30 kids right now.
Yeah.
Oh, you got 15? That's why.
Hez was very strict, man. He had a lot of rules, and you know, he was just real strict on us, man. And was
he a follower of his own advice?
Yeah. That's one thing I gotta give him credit. If he did do anything, we never saw it.
Oh, okay.
We never saw it. He was just like, yo, and eventually, as I got older, I started to buck against him, and that's how I got fired.
You thought you was grown. I got you.
Yeah, because we were on tour with Kirk Franklin, and I met this young lady in Florida. And
that's a good place.
She was just,
I know. She had everything in the right places. Got you.
I mean,
yeah.
I remember her walking out of the church, and I was sitting on the bus. I saw her, and I jumped off the bus. I was like, yo, could a man of my complexion walk in your direction?
You had little game. You had little game. My man in your complexion walk in your direction.
Oh no, that's lame.
I know, Jay. I hit her with, but you know, that's what used to get their attention because she was like, I know you ain't just say that corny line to me.
Yeah. I was there. I was that too. I'm the king of the corny line.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It just throws them off. It's like, what? And you know, she was just something else. And I went crazy. I was like, yo, because Bishop Walker was like, yo, I'm not paying you to go down there to holler at no girl. We doing ministry, bro. And if I find out that you did hook up with her, I'm gonna fire you. So I'm already 9 years in with him. I'm like, whatever. You ain't wait.
Hold on for a second. You just said if you hook up with him, he gonna fire you. So basically, he's not saying like he pays you to drum for shows, performances, but outside shows, performances, you couldn't go do what you want to do as long as you're showing performance restraint. He's saying, nah, if you down there, you know,
not on his dime, because you know he's looking at it like, yo, we down there for ministry. You want to do that, you can do that, but you got to fly yourself out here. Don't do that.
Oh, fly out there. Okay,
you know what I'm saying? Don't do that on my dime, because you get down there and make a mess and start having kids all over the place or whatever. You mess up my brand. So he was protecting his brand. But I was like,
Bishop Walker.
I was like, you ain't gonna fire me. And me and the girl hooked up. And he found out.
That was that.
And he fired me.
Yeah.
On the spot.
Shout out to him. Good deal. Well, you know what, God, say something real quick, but I'm glad because there was a standard that he held that a lot of people, a lot of ministers today do not uphold. You know, right now you're in the ministry, they just pay you can do what you want to do. As long as you come to my church, play, sing, do what you got to do. I'm going to pay you. You can do whatever you want to do. And they don't really care. They just want the sound or they just want the perfection of what the gift that you have to bring. So, you know, at least he had a standard. Nowadays, you don't necessarily have all of that. So what's your take on that? Do you see the change in it?
Oh, yeah. I mean, looking back, it was the best thing that happened to me because him firing me opened me up to everything that I'm doing now. Because if he didn't fire me, I would still be playing for him to this day. You know, because it's guys that were playing with, like Jules. Jules still plays for him. Jules is almost with him 25, 30 years. That would have been me. But him firing me caused me to sit down and reevaluate my life. It caused me to reevaluate the exposure and the opportunities that I was given, because dudes from where I'm from they don't go past the Holland Tunnel. And I'm like, yo, Jay, you sitting in front of the Eiffel Tower taking pictures, bro, because of a gift that God gave you. You can't blow this being dumb. You can't blow this being impulsive and not thinking. And I know you having a good time because you young and all the girls like you and all that. But bro, you gotta get it together. And it kind of helped me calm down and just recalibrate and reset my life. And here it is now, my own career, 20 something years in, I'm still traveling. I'm still doing what I'm doing with a clean name, not a perfect name, but a clean name where I can go anywhere and hold my head up and not be embarrassed because of my behavior. So much love to Bishop Walker. Much love to him.
So now when he fired you, how old were you when he fired you?
Ooh, I was like,
because if you started at 15, you played for him 7, so you were like 22, 23?
Yeah, somewhere around there, 22, 23, something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Still young.
So my question is, did you finish school?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now
we were only traveling on the weekends.
Oh, okay,
that was the rule that my mom had. She's like, yo, you could go out with him, but you better be home Sunday night.
Wow. Wait a minute. That's kind of hard because if you start with Hezekiah at 15.
Yeah. Well, not. I started playing for James Hall, Worship and Praise. I did maybe a year with James Hall, and then I left James Hall and started traveling with Hez.
Oh, okay. There you go. Because I was like, you got in trouble, got kicked out of high school, went to alternative school. And then you was trying, I was like,
the alternative high school was dope because I only had to go into the physical location twice a week.
What you do for the other 3 days?
I was working because it was a program here in New York called Co-op. So
they only get that to seniors. Hold up, they only do that for seniors.
Nah. This school, the alternative school, I had it.
Oh, they had to get y'all out of there. Oh, okay.
We just couldn't function in a normal
they were not functional.
Yeah.
But I got you now.
It was like one step away from special ed.
Yeah, no, y'all special. It just wasn't ed. Y'all was special to them up. Y'all was special to them up.
Yeah.
Right that time in Brooklyn where you was at, go. Okay, so now traveling and around 6 years later, you find yourself unemployed. And question, during this time period, did you go to college? Was college in the thought process? Because I know your parent probably like, you go to school, or you like, nah, I'm riding this drumming thing out.
I moved to Europe.
Okay, please discuss.
I went, when he fired me, there's a lady by the name of Queen Esther Morrow that does this big European tour every year.
Yes. Okay.
And so when I got fired, I was like, yo, I don't want to be here no more. I'm embarrassed. I can't come back to the home city because everybody know I was fired.
You was
at Disney World.
No.
Yeah, I was in Florida.
Hezekiah got to account for that. That's not what we do. We don't fire brothers from Brooklyn in Disney. That's
I got fired in Florida, came back, and I heard that Queen was auditioning people for the tour. So I went to audition to be the drummer. But when I got there, my boy Eric Tribbett was there. And I'm nice, but he's a monster. So when I saw him there, that's Ty's cousin. So when I got there and saw Eric, I was like, this nigga got the gig. All right. Because once they hear this boy play, over. And that's exactly what happened. So when they called my name, it's like, oh, you here for the drums? I was like, yeah, but it's like, we already hired Eric. So my mind went working overtime. I said, so y'all got any other spots open? They was like, yeah, we got for a guy in the tenor. We looking for a tenor in the choir. And I was like, I'll do that. They was like, you sing? I was like, yeah. I never sung in front of nobody before, y'all. Never.
Not like this. Never. I wish.
So a dude
angels would fall.
Charles, what is this guy? Charles Lyles, Pastor Charles Lyles was the MD for the tour. So he says, all right, come on in the room. It's a room full of people. And I walk in there, I'm talking that talk. I'm like, yo, put me in F sharp. He's like, I never sung in front of nobody before. And I just started singing a song called Thank You, Lord. Mm-hmm. And I sung it. And it was like, yo, you're hired. And that's where my life completely changed because I left and went on tour with Queen Esther. And, what I was doing with Hez was amazing. But what she's doing overseas is stadiums. I'm talking about this lady.
Wembley. Gotcha. Yeah, Wembley.
Yeah,
yeah, gotcha.
It exposed me to another level. Like, yo, what I was doing with Bishop Walker is amazing, but there's even another level from that. And so I'm singing in theaters like the Mogadorf Theater. I never even heard of none of this stuff. I'm like, she took us to sing. We did Christmas for the Pope. I'm singing in front of the Pope. A kid from Brooklyn from the projects is singing in front of the Pope. I'm like, yo, there's nothing. That's when I became in the mind frame like, yo, there's nothing I can't do.
Gotcha. That's what's up. It's crazy that
I had to Google that, the Mogador. I had to Google that. Yeah. Seats about 1,800 people on 3 tiers.
Crazy.
I had to Google it. That's
crazy. Crazy, man.
So look, even some of those individuals you mentioned, I was like, yeah, I went to school with Ty, but I was trying to figure out Eric. I think he might have been before my time.
Eric is younger than Ty.
Okay, because Ty is a little younger than me.
Yeah.
So he's a little younger than you as well.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, he was in, he went to Willingboro High. Shout out to Willingboro High. Oh.
Yeah. What up, Ty?
Yeah. Look. We got a bunch of singers. You know, I just heard one of my classmates. He was on the radio, Heart and Soul, Friday, and I was messed up because I was like, yo, his name Lamont, and I was like, yo, Lamont on the radio. I said, ain't this something? So I was just like, when you saying it, I was like, yeah, but after going to Europe, and now you're playing with this ensemble, Queen Esther, correct?
The Harlem Gospel Singers.
Harlem Gospel Singers. Mm-hmm. So now you're over here and you're being exposed to yet another level. Okay. How did you make a transition to Lost Boyz?
Because that tour was over. And when I got over there, that's where the bug bit me to become a solo artist and a producer. Mind you, I've never done none of this stuff before. So when I get back home, big shout out to my boy, Big House. Big House had a studio in his crib. And back then we were using a program called Cubase and Reasons.
Yes.
And House taught me how to do tracks on Cubase and Reasons. So I'm at his crib every day. Him and his wife, big shout out to Erica. They gave me a set of keys. They would leave me in the crib. They go to work. I'm in there banging beats all day long. And I'm doing hip hop because I'm a hip hop head. You know what I'm saying? So I'm doing hip hop joints. And then we get exposed to a dude by the name of Charles Soup, who was the manager for the Lost Boyz. And he was like, yo, Cheeks and them, they want to do a live band. And I was like, all right, that's right up my alley. So me, Jules, and my boy Dave Caton, y'all gonna crack up when I tell y'all this. What y'all think the name of our band was?
Found Boys? What? Like what? Lost
Boyz.
Thomas.
Unbars. Like,
Homicide.
Unbars. You can call yourself
homicide. Because I was killing them. Is that why?
Yeah, he was killing the beats.
Killing the music.
Yeah, murder. Okay. Murdering the music.
Yeah.
Okay. I heard Irv Gotti say something like recent about that. That's what murder. I got you.
Yeah.
Homicide. We killing the beats.
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds so corny right now. That didn't age well. That didn't age well.
It didn't age well. Looking back, I'm like, not such a good. I want to leave that off my discography.
Oh, I can give you. Listen. I was an MC. I was an MC back in the day. Real talk. I'm. You know what? Since you revealed yours,
what was your name, O?
Oski. MC Oski.
Wow.
MC Oski.
Now that didn't age well, like a year after it. No. Because remember, for a minute during that time period, everybody had skiing. Like you had Joe Ski Love, people skiing. I was Oski, and then I was like, let's stop. That's not what we're doing. It's not what we're doing. That's negative. Yeah. Okay, so now you in Homicide, drumming for the Lost Boyz, and they blew up, and they actually was trying. I want to say the city of New York was trying to censor them because that's when I start learning a lot about Lost Boyz, Decepticons, and things of that nature. Because they had to get a different type of buzz just to break through, because it was a gang of y'all.
Yeah.
You know, and I would say at this point, this is you go do your own research. All right. But with the Lost Boyz, you're traveling again. You in this new group, reinvented yourself into the drummer for this rap group. So now, what was the difference between going around as the percussionist / musical person in the Lost Boyz versus Hezekiah Walker's drummer early on in your career, and right thereafter for Queen Estelle?
The weed.
Which one? Because I ain't gonna make no assumptions.
Lost Boyz bro, you come into rehearsal, it was just a gray cloud.
Oh, because the DJ splits nice. I heard splits do
all of them.
All of them. Oh God.
Henny and weed. I never smoked weed. I never put the stuff on my lips.
Yeah.
And I would just sit on the drum and get contact. Just from
That's all you had to do.
I mean, we used to rehearse at this spot called Rocket Rehearsal Studios on 39th and 11th in Manhattan. And when I came out of there, I would be high as a kite and never smoked.
Yeah, you had to get some food. You like,
munchies.
No,
what was the food of choice over there? Y'all had oatmeal cakes, like the little joints.
We had I would like the little Debbie honey buns.
The honey buns. Okay. I've never smoked a day in my life. Never smoked, right? Yeah. So I just look and say, which ones was you? Was you the what was it? The Nutty Buddies? Yeah. The oatmeal bars.
Raisin joints.
Yeah. Or look, watch this. Oh, no, just the flat ones. Then you got the ones with the raisin, then the chocolate ones
with the white cream.
With the white cream in it
for
old people.
Yeah, watch this. And then what you said, the honey bun. So I was like, which one? Because they had an aisle still in Walmart, and I'd be like, yeah, that's the weed aisle right there.
Yeah.
$2, you get a dozen. You break over the whole pack, you straight. All right. Yeah. So the weed was the biggest difference. But what about as far as the showmanship of all the different artists that you work with? What was some of the things that were comfortable?
They were all professional, and they were all, what I learned from Hez, I learned how to conduct business. You know what I'm saying? And how to read contracts and how to deal with promoters. Because that's one of the major things that a lot of artists don't know how to deal with, because especially in gospel, a lot of promoters that promote gospel are not gospel people. They just know it's a bag attached to this artist and doing this concert, and they would do stuff like get you there, have you on stage, and in the middle of your performance, they would leave and take all the bread with them. So you have to know how to deal with all that. But from Cheeks, from Lost Boyz, I learned how to deal with people of different ethnic backgrounds, because their fan base was everybody. I mean, white, Chinese, Italian. When the tourists would come to town, it was just nuts. So I learned how to, sit down and engage people that didn't look like me. And then when I left Lost Boyz, I started playing for Faith.
Faith Evans, okay.
And when I played for Faith, that taught me how to be a little high class, how to do things because Faith, she did things a different level.
Okay, I don't say her high. She's from Newark, so I'm like, what are you talking about? Okay.
But the team around her.
Oh, they were professional.
Really, they was really professional. And they all just turned, I didn't know it back then, but playing for all of them. And after I left Faith, I played for Cannabis. And the biggest lesson I learned from him was how to be quiet. I'm still mad at him to this day.
All you gotta do is shut up and leave that alone.
He came at LL.
Correct.
So we had 20 dates. In the schedule, in the tour schedule. And after he came at LL, every date got canceled.
Wow.
We still ain't heard from Cannabis to this day after he battled LL. So I learned something valuable from everybody that I played for, man. But I'm still mad at you, Cannabis. I hope you see this.
Oh, wow.
I mean, LL was just talking about that on Drink Champs. I think he was talking about that with that situation with cannabis.
Yo, I'm talking about,
I didn't want to do it.
You talking about somebody what? Mad? I was like, bro, we did the Tonight Show with him, with Conan O'Brien.
Conan
O'Brien. And it was amazing. Killed it. And dates were coming in like that. Then he goes at LL. I'm like, dude, why would you do that? And when L responded, because cannabis, his joint was hot. I was like, oh, you got him, son. You got him.
He got him. And the problem was when people listen to Bar for Bar, it's one of the greatest diss songs, but LL did some sucker stuff. And I'm going to say it. Yeah. And I'm a rap. I love the stuff. Yeah. I say I love LL. I think he's in the top 5. If you don't have him in the top 5, you really don't know rap.
You don't know rap.
Yeah, but at the same time, if you put his diss up next to it, Cannabis was better, and LL did some sucker stuff.
Yeah.
And
he bullied them. And
one of the dopest MC.
Correct. Yeah.
He's a beast. But you know, it was just a bad move to go against.
It wasn't
at that time.
It wasn't a good business decision because all of the industry was behind LL at that time. Sure. Because a couple of things because I'm glad you mentioned it, and you have a different insight from me because I'm outside looking in, but I know some things. Like, for instance, LL was breaking at that time a person named DMX.
Oh yeah,
DMX got broke really on a song.
Yeah,
Stay Out the Dog. Yo, hit 4 3 2 1.
Yeah.
So it was LL's song, and he DMX, and then the person that was hot as fish grease during that time was Method Man.
Yeah,
and DMX stole that whole thing from him, and he was a newcomer. Yeah. Well, new to the industry. People knew behind the scene, underground and stuff of that nature. However, you're absolutely right. It was just like, yo, chill. This some next year, next album, get a little bit more momentum,
some more weight up.
Yeah. But
weight up behind you. Yeah,
you know, I think that it was more of a business. Like Def Jam shut him down, because they couldn't have LL being dissed by a rapper that was of lower stature, unknown almost. He was known
cannabis like that.
Yeah, correct. But he was hot. He was bubbling. You know, so that's the part I was like, man, that's tough. But that's awesome that you play for all those people, and then you learn business, and then it's like, you know what? Let me shut up. Let me not say something. Yeah. And that is also valuable.
Yeah.
However, which of the people that you played for have you done the best business with? The best. So I know you probably did good business in all of them, but the best business where I said, you know what, I got what I was worth, because everybody gives something up. But you feel like I got.
I would say the Lost Boyz.
Lost Boyz. Okay.
Yeah, financially.
Yeah.
But Bishop Walker prepared me. See, it's one thing if somebody takes you fishing. It's another thing if somebody teaches you how to fish.
Gotcha.
So Bishop Walker taught me how to fish, because I'm doing what I'm doing 20 years later because of what
something you taught you.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Okay. I made the most money with Cheeks, you know, with Freaking Ty and them dudes.
Yeah.
Got in the most trouble, got tattooed up, all that with them dudes.
Hold up. Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Hold up. You can't tell me you going from here, and then you went from 2 gospel and then got with them and got 2 contact highs, and now you tatted up.
Yeah. And I'm gonna tell y'all, Mr. Cheeks loved me, dog. Like, we were in LA and they were going to some party, and I was like, nah, I ain't going, man. We were there to do the Keenan Ivory Wayans show. And I was like, yo, Cheeks, man, let me hold the limo. I want to go get a tat. He was like, you serious? I was like, yeah. He's like, hey. Told the chauffeur, take Jay wherever you want to go. So I'm driving up and down La Brea Boulevard looking for a tattoo spot. And the first joint I see, I jump out. I was like, let's go.
Was it good?
Man, I came back because, you know, after you get tattooed, lacration on the joint, they wrap it up. I got this little joint right here.
Oh, I thought that looked like a prison tattoo, fam.
Yeah, it's a Big J and 2 drumsticks.
Yeah,
so I come back, it's all wrapped up, and Freaky Ty was mad disrespectful. Rest in peace to my brother. But he was disrespectful. He was like, yo, son, take that off, man. Let me see what you got. And you know, they got full sleeves, dragons, and fire. I took my little thing off. I'm thinking I'm hype. He was like, you know,
stupid mother, being mother. Yeah, I met him. I met him a couple of times. Yeah, I got
ain't no tattoo, man. Get out. I mean, it became the joke of the tour. Yeah. And I was like, I don't care. I like it. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's like, look at that little tattoo. So, but
hold up. Now watch this. Now that you've seen the LL canvas, somebody said, "Yo, let me get the drums off the arm," and I started battling it. Like, would you take that as a diss?
Yeah, because what they don't know is if they did that, I would come right back at the neck because I do got bars.
Oh,
hold up now. No, wait. My bad. You from Brooklyn, so yeah. I got you. I'm gonna give you that because I was about to say that. I just thought about it.
I put out one hip hop single.
What?
Yeah, and all these cats was laughing at me. They was like, "Yo, Pastor, you don't know what you." I said, "Yo, I'm telling y'all, I'm gonna put this single out and I'm gonna get on Hot 97." They was like, whatever. I was like, all right, I'm telling y'all, it's so much favor on me right now. God's gonna make it happen. They was like, "Yo, you bugging." So I go call my boy Kenny Black. Shout out to the Music Machine, Kenny Black. I was like, "Yo, I want to do this hip hop joint." He's like, "Come to the lab." I go. He's like, "Don't write nothing until you get here." I get in the lab. He got this crazy beat playing, and I'm like, "All right." We wrote it right on the spot. A week later, we blazing on Hot 97.
What's the name of it?
Changed My Life.
Changed My Life.
It's under J Hen, not Jason Hendrickson.
J Hen.
Video and everything.
Changed my life.
Mm-hmm. And saying that too. So what do they think? How do people say when you mix, a lot of people have this big thing going on about gospel being secular and not having artists. I know you spoke about that on, I guess, one of your things several years ago or whatnot. But how do you feel about that? I think you were talking about the Snoop Dogg thing with the Snoop Dogg with the gospel album and all that. So what's your take on gospel music, being, trying to be secular and bringing all these artists in?
Well, I think the two have been intertwined for years, and the church can't be upset because like everybody going crazy with Beyonce with this church girl piece, right?
Church girl, yeah. Mm-hmm.
But if we're going to get mad at her for taking Twinkie Clark, then we got to get mad at Kurt for taking Bill Mathers, Lovely Day.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? You can't pick and choose when you want to say there's a separation, because if you want to be honest, when you look at music, the origin of music was created by God to bring him pleasure. There was no genres.
Right.
It was just music. But when Satan, Lucifer, or whatever you call him, got kicked out of heaven, he begins to duplicate everything that God created. So that's where we get the different genres of music from, that God had music that brought him glory and pleasure. So now the devil, Satan, wants music that brings him glory and pleasure. His music is destructive, suicide, killing, all the different genres. And I'm like, well, we got to deal with the intent of the creator whenever you're dealing with anything. And the intent from the creator of music was to bring him glory and pleasure. There was no separation. So, I think that as we develop and matriculate into who we're supposed to be, you have a taste for certain music. There's certain I can't listen to heavy metal. I just can't. There's some heavy metal artists that I couldn't listen to, but the majority of it, that head banging stuff, I can't listen to it. I can't listen to Sade. Sade, when I hear her music, I get depressed. I'm like, no.
Because
whatever state of
shut his mic off.
Yeah, I'm being serious. Whatever state. Whatever
smooth
state.
Operator.
Bro. I'm like,
your love is king.
No.
Cherish today.
But you say that too, and it's about, you said the intent of the music. And I mean, nowadays, all the intent of the violence and sex and drugs that we got on our, and these, what'd you say?
Yo, no, he's saying that. I'm just saying it. Yo, I got a list for him. Yo, I'm about to get him in trouble.
Yeah.
No.
Got a list for them.
Yeah.
So you were talking about something too, Jason, about you were just saying something about your purpose and living in your purpose in music and all of that. You said something about on your kingdom conversations that you have. I just wanted to touch on that because you did all that things and you went with, hip hop, and then so when did the ministry come into place? Like, when did you say, oh, you know what, I'm going to put that behind, I'm going to be a pastor now? What was that, period of your life? What did that look like? What happened?
When I was in Europe, I got the call. I knew that I was called to do it, but I tried to hide behind my artistry. I didn't want to be a pastor. I never wanted to be a pastor because I was like, yo, I'm the dude that's out chasing all the girls and traveling and touring. I got to give all. I was like, God, you sure? You want me to be a pastor? You know what I'm saying?
You got a story. You got a story to tell.
Yeah, I was out there doing it at a high level.
Oh, let's talk about it. Oh no, sounds interesting. Let's talk about it.
I was doing it at a high level, because especially in church, a lot of the opportunities are different for those that are in the forefront.
What do you mean? Please elaborate on that, sir.
Opportunities for anything, not just women. Anything that you're into, because you're in the forefront, and just being a musician, period. You have over an abundance of accessibility.
Oh.
Where the normal guy that don't do what I do, or whoever travels, and you gotta fight and you gotta, ask girls out and all that. Nah, I never had to do that. Girls used to ask me out, and and I never had to spend money on women. So
until you got married, I got you.
Yeah. That was a whole other ball.
Yeah. I'm gonna just go ahead and put that caveat in there.
Yeah, but and not only married, but when I had daughters.
Hold on. We gotta talk about that. How many daughters?
Three.
Me too. Three up. You got any boys?
Just my grandson.
Oh my God. I got 3 daughters, a wife, sister, niece. I'm surrounded. I've never been in control of anything in my life. So.
I'm the only dude in my crib. So
even my sister, my niece come over, it's just like, yo, can we get some?
Got a dog, go to the cage. Dog. I was like, come on, y'all.
Yeah. Listen, we gotta do something. Yeah, that's good. Yeah. Oh, okay. So now you talked on some things. You touched on things. You got a lot of accessibility. You was out with the Lost Boyz. Did great business with the Lost Boyz. You went on and featured with some of the biggest names in hip hop and R&B, as well as and gospel. So now my question to you is, okay, you're going to be a pastor. The money, how are you able to say, okay, I'm able to play for one show and make this much? But now you got to grow a congregation. You have to minister to people. Mm-hmm. You got to grow that. So now it's more of a grind per se, because having a church is a business.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not conducting business. It's a business in itself. So you have to market. You have to do all the things that business, accounting, communication, all those things that business do. So now tell me, how's the transition to being a pastor, having a church, and trying to grow it? How do you deal with that?
The motive and the intent, again, is different, because you don't pastor to get bread. Anybody that thinks
on that.
Hold on now.
I know what the perception is, of pastors. I'm well aware of that, but that's because the majority of people don't understand the back office of a church. Like, we see a lot of guys out here getting money, and people saying you stealing from your church. But let's have an analytical conversation right now. Mm-hmm. Especially after COVID. Okay. Mm-hmm. Every church is experiencing a 40% decline in attendance.
Correct.
Because you have more people
transforming
that watching
church online. Gotcha.
And only 3% of them are faithful tithers and givers. So you see the decline in the income of the church. And if you're an integral pastor, you still have your overhead. You got to pay your rent, your mortgage. You got to pay your staff because nobody does nothing for free in church. It's not like when we grew up, we were singing for free, playing for free. Everybody wants to be on payroll. So I want to know from the general consensus, where do y'all think the money is coming from for the pastor to steal? I just want to know, because if you're looking at the business side of it, it's not what y'all think.
Okay, so
it's not what you think.
You're absolutely right because of what's going on now. I know when I was younger, it was the building fund, because it seemed like everybody's church had a building fund.
With the thermometer on the wall.
Thermometer on the wall. Yeah. So the building fund, because I was like, from the age 4, being able to say, we got to do this, we're going to get the building fund. And because I went to an AME church, we had different pastors every so many years. Every 4 years. And I'm sitting there looking like, all right, now I'm 17. Shouldn't this joint be paid off? Because I know it was here before me. I just noticed it when I was 4 or 5.
Right.
So should it be paid off? And now where you're saying, okay, I understand all that going on as church in itself is going through a transformation due to the pandemic. So I understand it. I understand it because TD Jakes. I like TD Jakes, what he says. You know, I may be of another faith, but I like the practical information that he gives.
Right.
So when I learned about his situation and read about it, he had a lot of tax problems because he was selling books, self-help manuals, different things. And then he had speaking engagements that he would charge for. And this was all outside of his church, where he did not charge his church for a dime.
Yeah.
So when he broke it down, like, my church don't pay nothing, I do all other things. So that's where I was like, I can respect that.
Yeah.
However, we just saw a cat from Brooklyn. Like, I see it right now. It's a scam. Yo, they just robbed him for $400,000 jewelry. Yeah, because if somebody came to my house and robbed me, they took all of my Picassos and my Rembrandts.
Right.
Yeah, they stole all of that. So I'm gonna tell my insurance, you know, that Picasso and the Rembrandt that I have? Yeah, they stole all of that. Yeah, that's $3 million.
The thing with that situation is what I don't like is that when people see that, they lump all of us into that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yo, I know the dude. And real quick.
Ho. Hold on. Let's go. Fam. So you know, dude, who running this? Is that a scam, or you think that's real?
I don't know.
No, you trying to get political on me?
No, I'm dead serious. I don't know because he gets mad bread out because his church is not, again, his church, like most of our churches, can't afford our lifestyles. If you look at his church, how do you think he scammed $500,000 from that church?
Yeah, that was
a Rolls Royce, to get a 7,000 square foot crib.
Is he doing it through the church for the taxes? Because you know,
number one, people don't understand churches don't pay taxes.
That's what I'm saying.
We're tax exempt.
Yeah. So does he buy it and get tax exempt? That's what I'm asking.
No. See, gotcha. the way that you do it is, and this is for free, y'all. You open up a trust. You put everything in your trust name. This ain't got nothing to do with church.
It's business.
This is doing things not the right way, but the white way.
Bars.
You open up a trust. Your trust opens up an LLC. Everything is in your LLC's name. You get all type of tax breaks from doing it that way. So business-wise, I can attest that, you know, he does have a lot of things going on outside of church. Now, I ain't gonna lie. When I saw the video, I was like, And then, you know, I think, again, like cannabis, I think old boy was doing too much talking. Because every time you talk, the story changed.
Correct.
You know, it went from this, it went from 100,000, 200,000 to now 400,000. And it's just like, it's too much. But I got to tell y'all this. Looking at the whole situation now, because I was offended by the bishop. I was offended that he was doing what he was doing because it's making all pastors look crazy. But then I started looking at it. I was like, yo, he ain't doing this. This has nothing to do with God. He wants to be famous.
Correct.
And what he's doing is brilliant. Because
so
if you're going to separate the motive from ministry, what he's doing is freaking brilliant. I'm going to tell it on KROSS BARZ. By the middle of 2023, he's going to have his own TV show. Watch what I tell y'all.
Okay.
Because if you look at it, what he just did with D.L. Hughley, he threatened D.L. Hughley. He was like, yo, let's do this charity boxing match. Got the head of celebrity boxing on the joint. And he says, yo, if you need 90 days, take it. So now if I'm on his team, what I'm going to do, I'm going to say, yo, for the next 90 days, we doing workout videos.
Oh, doing like the boxing joints on HBO. Got you. Got you.
So what he did, he's stretching his 15 minutes because that joint was fading out.
Yeah.
Larry Reed stopped coming at him. So he was like, yo, what am I going to do?
I need
so now,
DL Hughley. Got you.
And whether DL responds or not, it's 90 more days of publicity.
Correct.
And within that 90 days, a television, Mona Scott, somebody's going to be like, yo, this dude is the perfect villain for reality TV because people love to hate Bishop.
Yeah. Yes.
So what he's doing,
now
that I'm looking at it from a broader perspective, he's a genius. And I applaud him because this ain't got nothing to do with the church. He wants to be in the industry. He wants to be like Bishop Don Juan because he's a bishop. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, he was the church of the pimps now. Nah, listen now. He already said.
He's still a bishop, technically. You know what I'm saying? So I get it, and I salute Lamar Whitehead. I'm like, dude, I see what you're doing, and I ain't even mad at you no more. Because, again, I was taking offense because, yo, you got the whole world eyes on you and your church, and nobody's talking about Jesus.
Gotcha.
Like, yo, my dude, what are you doing? But it hit me the other day when he challenged D.L. Hughley. I said, oh, this dude is brilliant.
Oh,
he's going to take that 15 minutes and make it a whole year.
Okay. All right. I get you. I'm going to say something real crazy to get my, Dave Chappelle, you listening? I'm going to punch you in your face. Yeah.
He's doing the same thing 50 did.
Right.
50 came, the art of getting robbed. He came at everybody that was hot.
Yep. And Jay-Z said something.
Then next thing you know, we got the whole 50 Cent.
Right.
Shout out to Bishop Lamar Whitehead. You're a genius, my brother.
Okay.
So is that how you got into all of your entrepreneurial endeavors? Is that kind of what being in the church led you to do the clothing line? Just speak on that a little bit.
The clothing line
business
actually came from a beef that I had with another pastor.
So all things is the clothing line.
Yeah.
Y'all got church beef? How you get church beef, man?
We get it in. We get it in.
Church beef?
We get it in a little bit. But, he was talking crazy. And
he told you your collar wasn't crisp enough?
No. He was talking some, because a lot of pastors I come up with, they are pastors, but they got a lot of hood in them still. They got
pimping in the pulpit. Yeah,
he was talking a little crazy. So I'm nice with the verbiage. So I was like, all right. So this is what he want to do. So I typed up this whole letter, this whole email thing to give to his pastor. I was like, yo, because in my mind I was like, yo, look who you co-signing. This dude is doing da 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 da. So I do all that, and my pastor was like, yo, Jay, because he really attacked my pastor. And, I'm from, like, yo, if you attack my man, we got to get it in. I'm jumping right in it. Because it wasn't for me initially, but when I got involved, he started talking crazy about me. So I had this whole thing ready to respond, and my bishop was like, yo, if you send it, that's it for you. That's not what we doing. We kingdom guys. This ain't the street. Yo, if you send that email, I don't want nothing to do with you, bro. He's like, yo, you gotta go, you gotta be on your own. So I listened to him, and I'm up teaching Bible study one night, and I hear God tell me, when you see something negative or you think somebody's saying something crazy to you, start hashtagging all things. Hashtag all things. And I'm like, yo, God, y'all hashtagging in heaven? What you talking about? I'm bugging out. And I start doing it. And it just went crazy. Everybody started hashtagging all. So the businessman I am, I buy the hashtag. I purchased the hashtag. So I own it. So I'm like, all right. So now what happens if I put this on a t-shirt? Little Mo, everybody starts rocking.
Yeah.
Then I'm like, yo, what would happen if I put it on a hat, a hoodie? And it turned in from people from Bed-Stuy all the way to Kuwait, rocking my clothing line. And my mindset was, yo, if I would have responded to that dude, that would have been my reward.
Yeah.
Even with him, instead of missing out on the empire that I'm now building, going on 4 years now, and went from a clothing line to now a dessert line. And I mean, it's just crazy.
Yeah, because I be on dessert, like, I want all things.
Yeah.
All parts.
All parts. What is it about? Is it what's your dessert line? What is that called?
All things. Everything is
it's still all things. Okay.
Nah, I'm a bite the joint. Mine's gonna say all parts. I want all parts of that. Yeah, the check, all parts. But I had a t-shirt made, and me and my friend, we always joked about it. And I ended up just going to the mall, getting it made, and I wear it sometimes. And it was babies and fools. And so people will kind of know what that means. It's like, God bless, look out for babies and fools. Cause I'm like, some of the business endeavors that we've done, I was like, how did we do that? It's like, we know we've been blessed because sometimes we shouldn't have been successful as we've been. So it was like babies and fools. And you starting to give me an idea. I think I better do that because somebody might have got it.
Go with it, man.
Yeah. Got it. Babies and fools.
Hey, we're trying to get that KROSS BARZ on tweet. I see that. It's coming.
Check this out. Now I got this thing we do, right? Quick fire. We just gonna ask you some questions, all right? And you can say one or the other or both.
Okay.
Right? One or the other, both. And I think
I don't gotta take no shot, do I?
No. We ain't drinking. No.
That's the other show.
Yeah, that's the other show. Yeah, we ain't drinking. I just like,
I got
seeing,
my joint. I'm ready.
Yeah. See your perspective.
He got the water.
They got your water. Yeah.
Give it to him.
All right. So Marvin Sapp or Donnie McClurkin?
Ooh.
I'm gonna say both. I'm gonna say both.
Okay, both. Okay. All right. Clark Sisters or Mary?
Clark Sisters.
All right. Lost Boyz or G Unit? I did all Queens.
Lost Boyz.
Okay, got you. Prince or Michael Jackson?
Michael Jackson.
Ooh, not the artist? Okay, I thought you was gonna go with that.
Yeah, he messed up when he did the
Yeah, I got you.
He lost me with that.
Yeah. Look. Biggie or Jay-Z? Brooklyn.
Jay.
Ooh, didn't see that. All right. Which one is harder to stay, on cue with your drumming if they were performing in front of you? Yolanda Adams or Fantasia? Oh yeah, that's all concentration right there.
Fantasia.
Oh hell
Fantasia.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you're not saying too much. I know.
Yeah.
She working with something.
Yeah,
she working with some change. Yeah, absolutely. All right, and just for kicks and giggles, and the last one is Michael or LeBron.
Michael, kidding me?
Some bullshit. I forgot. He was from
because
Brooklyn.
if you really want to have the conversation,
He's from Brooklyn. That's all. He's from Brooklyn.
I'll tell you how Mike is not the GOAT.
Who's the GOAT?
Kareem.
Good job, sir. Good job.
That would be something he would say. Yeah.
Good job, sir.
Check the stats.
Oh, no.
Numbers don't lie.
Excuse me, sir. Talking to Big O.
Yes, sir.
I'm a connoisseur of that.
Yes, sir.
This is Big O. Yeah, when he said Kareem, I said, okay. Right. Some people some people say like Mike, and I was like, I just say like, I'm just keeping 100. I always said Mike was, I said no. Mike is number 3.
Who's number 2?
LeBron.
No.
you don't
even
get.
know sports
I'm gonna give you something a tad back because I'm gonna put this on air now because this is what I do when people call me because they get advice. Yeah, I'm gonna just give you a little bit, right? You know how people say in different areas who could play and what, and I say, yeah, check this one out. During the time of Russell and Wilt Chamberlain, and people say, well, they couldn't play because Wilt Chamberlain in this day and age, and I say, how many players from, let's say, Mike's generation and on could play with referees intentionally not giving them calls? Because I seen Mike cry to refs.
Oh, yeah.
Just imagine you cry to ref, get a text, so you can't even cry to a ref.
You don't think LeBron got refs throwing people out the stadium?
Bars,
as he should, number one. As he should. No. Because no, it is not freedom of speech. Because if I stood in your congregation talking about I'm gonna F your daughter or your grandson up or whatever. Yeah. No, freedom of speech. Freedom of speech.
Freedom of speech.
Yeah, but there's some accountability, right?
But at a basketball game, heckling is part of the game.
Okay, wait a minute. I can deal with heckling, but when you start saying, I hope your son dies, that's not heckling.
No, that was a
that's why. Yeah, see, when we start talking about it, we don't talk about it. Yeah, when you say, I hope your son dies, blah 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 blah, and it's like you in the front row.
Yeah,
and it's like if we were somewhere, you did it, and I punch you in your face. Yeah, it's the moon howling out at the wolf.
Right.
Yeah, you can howl at me all day. You suck Michael better. He hears it every day of his life. Michael's better. I heard the whole stadium do that. Mm-hmm. Okay, cool. I'm gonna shut y'all up. But you got people on the front row thinking it's okay to talk and wish that upon your family.
Yeah, that's not cool.
I can't ever recall somebody saying something like that to Mike. Or them even report.
They made it. Maybe we just ain't know.
Oh, okay. See, but we seen that happen with LeBron, and I'm like, LeBron is the greatest. He has no flaw as far as in the media. Mike had several of them, and I'm like, listen,
LeBron's career ain't over with yet. So
correct, and he's gonna beat him in every statistic. And I said only in basketball we skew it, and sometimes in football, because I've been having an online chat with like 8 people, and they've been jumping me because I said, well, look, I'm a Giants fan, but Emmett got the best numbers, and he did it in the playoffs. And what I know is when you do things great in the postseason, your legend gets bigger. I said Barry, he never had a great postseason.
Well, I said the fact that your name is even mentioned.
Yeah, it's an honor.
It's an honor. Yeah.
And this is what I really loved about MJ post basketball career, as far as a player. MJ, always said, listen, eras are different. You had different rules, you had different strategies, all these things. Yeah. Like now, I hate the game now because everybody carries. And everybody, oh, he crossed him up. I was like, well, he palmed the ball, held it there, and then put it around his back. And I was like, well,
a lot of traveling too.
Yeah, it's a lot of traveling. So I'm like, y'all ain't even globetrotters because they used to have handles and it was legal. Y'all doing illegal stuff.
Yeah.
That's one. The other part from MJ, he put in a lot of people who are of a darker hue and position of power there in Charlotte. Sure. And I'm like, I respect that because my big knock on him back in the day was, he said, when Harvey Gantt had a chance to, take Charlotte and become and get Jesse Helms, not Charlotte, excuse me, coming from Charlotte, but get Jesse Helms, a stalwart, and Senate out of that seat. And they just need that one endorsement. And his response was Republicans buy sneakers too. And it was like, hold up, what?
He was just trying to play. He had to play the line right at that point.
No.
He played the line for business, but
So when we are at a certain level of sports, we start speaking of Muhammad Ali, Jim Brown, and a lot of people, Kareem, and people try to put MJ up there, and I'm like, I'm not sure, but I will put LeBron up there.
He wasn't big on the social activist part, but
but we jumped behind him because of Spike and early on career, and we rolled with him.
Yeah. But
there were some things that we could address, and I don't think I was out of place by mentioning any things that were all true. And at the same time, I also would mention, look, this is how it looks like he cleaned it up. Right. But a lot of people don't, give them credit for cleaning it up. I'm like, yo, look how many people, them chocolate coaches is on their staff down there. How many black GMs that was over there? You know, people that's running communication down there. I said, got to give them credit for that. Just like if I said something bad about, you know, you say, Jason, you know what, man? I seen him with 20 white girls. Now I see you all sisters. I'll be like, all right, hopefully I only see you with one, which is your wife. So I'm just put that out there too. I don't want to put no bad things on them, all right? Because words have power. But you said some things. Thank you. I appreciate that. But now tell us, what can we see you on doing outside of all things? Because now we know that you have clothing line. You also have what, a cooking or a restaurant? Or are we just doing the online thing? Dessert line. So you're just doing that online?
No, I'm in partnership with a chain restaurant up here called Sally's.
Sally's.
Yeah, which is a West Indian, Asian fusion type.
Okay, wait.
Okay.
Okay, please explain that, because that just went clean over.
Yeah.
You said a West Indian
/ Asian.
The Chinese got to Jamaica. I remember. Yeah, people talking about it. So now we got Chinese Jamaicans, and you coming up with a restaurant.
It's actually owned by
the Chinese.
The Clear people.
The Clear Channel?
No, Clear people. Caucasian people.
Oh, Alabaster.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
What?
Okay. Yeah, that's a color. You know, I got that from James Baldwin. Yeah. James Baldwin. Listen, I would claim it, but James Baldwin beat me to it. He called them our Alabaster brethren. Yeah, James Baldwin. Our Alabaster brethren. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So,
absolutely.
Okay, so you got Sally's. Okay, go ahead.
And I do a podcast every Monday called Kingdom Conversations, which is on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn.
What y'all discuss, man? What y'all be talking about? What y'all? Because I'm there, and I just
Kingdom Conversations.
He said Kingdom. What y'all talking about?
Kingdom
Conversations.
Yeah. What we talk? Are we okay? Listen. Are we talking about what pastors do? What parishioners do?
No.
Choir directors?
I don't just have pastors on my show. My vision was to have people that are from the kingdom, but that are also doing it big in the marketplace. That's the thing. Okay. I want people to know that church is not what y'all know from 20 years ago.
Gotcha.
Y'all gotta let that stuff go. Because we not wearing sharkskin suits, driving Cadillacs, gold chains with jerry curls.
Yeah, it hurt me, man.
No more.
They turned my church into a soup kitchen.
Yeah,
and they've been paying on that bill for 30 years, 40 years,
man. And you know,
and now it's a soup kitchen.
That's the thing. I want people to understand that church is a whole lot different now, and that antiquated perception that people have, because most of the pastors that I'm cool with all have 4 businesses at least. None of us are on salary at our churches. None of us. You got to understand how this thing works. And again, when we see someone that is put to the forefront that's doing something a little, questionable, we all get lumped into it. I'm like, nah, I take that offensively. Because when people have the jokes and stuff about pastors and all that, I'm like, yeah, I get it. But, everybody ain't doing that, man, because I don't take no money from my church. I've been pastoring for 10 years now, never been on salary. Never.
Okay, so my question to you from that, because you just gave me a real thought. Let's say if you have a business outside of church and it start flourishing and doing well, but your church is not, can people start questioning your intent and your effort? Because if your business
would never happen.
If your business is flourishing, but your church isn't,
the more blessed that I am, I'm going to automatically bless my church. I'm not gonna have a Rolls Royce and my church look like a Roach Motel.
Okay.
That's never gonna happen, because I understand the law of reciprocity. So if God blesses my business, correct, I'm gonna dump back into my church financially. And how I do that is also not by giving all my money away either, because I think that the church should be a place where, at least my church is a place where I teach people financial literacy. I actually shut down my weeknight services for almost 4 months and did strict hardcore financial training where I'm teaching people about utilization rates, how to manage your credit, how to get your credit from a 480 to a 750. So that now I'm not the only one that's living that life. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because if the gospel is powerful and true, which I know it is, the pastor should not be the only one that is actually living the life that's on those pages. You know what I'm saying? And that's what makes people frustrated, because they like, yo, how you driving a Benz and your members is at the bus stop?
Facts.
And so my philosophy was, I'm going to get rid of my Benz. I'm a downgrade. This is what I did. I'm a downgrade. I got a Lexus, then I downgraded again to a Honda. Not because I couldn't afford it, but I said, I'm going to show y'all something. Because no matter what I drive, if your mindset don't change, you still going to be at the bus stop. Because I could give you all the resources, all the information, but if you don't have the discipline that I got, I'm the one that went back at almost 50 and became the valedictorian of my bachelor's program.
Yeah, congratulations.
Salutatorian of my associate's program. It's because I was disciplined, and people cannot get mad when you put the work in and you put the discipline in just because you're a pastor. I gotta hide my success. I gotta hide my discipline. I gotta hide the fact that I understand credit utilization and I only spend 30% of my credit card, but you going out maxing your credit card up and thinking we're gonna get the same results. No, it's not gonna be the same. So you gotta humble yourself and say, yo, pastor, how do you do that? And then once I give it to you, because I'm not going to keep the information from my people, once I give it, you got to do it. Because we don't like consistency in our community. We want everything fast. We want everybody to give us something. Nah, you got to put that work in. And we got to stop getting mad at people that go to school, get the degree, go against all the systemic racism that we all got to face on a day-to-day basis. Because if you this, I don't care how successful you are coming against systemic racism. And if I can push past everybody that told me I would never be nothing, I would fail, my family not supporting me, I got the same story everybody got. But I made up in my mind, yo, I'm unstoppable. And what I did was I surrounded myself with people that believed that and poured into me, and I took it and I flew. And nobody can get mad at me because I got a nice Honda. It's very nice. It's the top of the line joint, but I want my Benz back.
I got you.
I'm a Benz guy. You know what I'm saying? I want that S550. I want the big boy.
Gotcha.
And I'm not going to not get it out of fear that people are going to think I'm stealing from my church. Because again, if you think any pastor in 2022 is stealing from the church, you don't know business. You're talking about your grandma's pastor. They were doing that, not us. Because ain't no money in church like that. And that's the real talk. Anybody going to say it, but the bread is not coming in like that no more. You got to have outside ventures. You got to have outside businesses. And when you live a certain life that's integral, good things happen to good people, man. And I'm not going to turn down my light because I'm a pastor. Because I was driving foreigns before I started pastoring.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to drive foreigns while I'm pastoring and when I retire. Because I work hard. I got 4 businesses. You think I'm going to drive a Pinto?
So what were the other ones? What was the other businesses you got?
My production company, All Things Music Group. I just did my first movie. Just did my first soundtrack for a movie that's getting ready to come out called America Upside Down. Where everything that happened to Black America in this movie now happens to white America. And I did the entire soundtrack. It's nuts. You know what I'm saying? So I work hard to get in these positions. So why shouldn't I have the best? Because I'm a pastor. I got to take the bus because I'm a pastor. Nah, you stay on the bus if you want to. You take the train. I don't want to do it.
Okay.
And I'm not doing it. Period.
All right. Hey, y'all see nothing wrong with that. So how does your church, if you're out and about as an artist, who preaches? Do you have somebody that stands in for you? Because if you're traveling and you're touring, who's going to be? Okay.
My mom is my assistant pastor. I had a whole staff of ministers before the pandemic, but people got spread out. So now it's me, my mom, and my sister Jamie. She is the person that steps in when I'm not there. But I really try my best to be there as often as I can. But again, even with that, I think that every good leader works himself out of a job. So if my church can't function when I'm not there, I'm not being an effective leader.
Okay.
It should be able to function and run just as if I'm there when I'm not there.
Right. Indeed.
Yeah.
Indeed. All right. You got anything else before we roll out of here? Oh, got any questions?
Nah.
Questions?
No,
right.
you know, we've been here and talking and sounds good. You know, I'm gonna check out the all things dessert line. I'm real interested of all things, you know, delicious. So
We'll have it, brother.
Yeah, I'm gonna check them out. And I'm a, you know, when I get up there, I'm definitely coming to Brooklyn and check out Sally's. You said an Asian West Indian place.
151 Tompkins Avenue, the corner.
Oh my God, you in Tompkins, right? Oh my God.
2 blocks away from the project.
Oh, Tompkins. I know some people from around there.
But you got to know.
They faithful as a mug to that place.
Gentrification has changed.
Over there? They gentrified over there?
Let me tell you something. Tompkins Park, remember how dangerous it used to be?
Yes.
It's a doggy park now, bro.
I don't believe it.
I'm telling you.
You gotta Google
doggy
it.
Park.
Google Map it live.
The people are going there, letting the dogs off the leash, and the dogs are communicating. Everybody's drinking coffee and working on laptops. It's like a big open sky Starbucks with dogs.
I love it. That's good. Change is good. Change is always good.
Yeah.
All right. So, Jason, I know you have another chance out. It's on the charts. You know, it's doing its thing. Anything else? Any last words for our KROSS BARZ guests before we roll out this today?
Yeah, please get into the music. If you guys love great music, not just gospel music, but good music, I would love for you guys to give my stuff a chance. Just give it a listen. And I guarantee you, it'll touch you, because what's from the heart touches the heart. So everything that I do is from my heart. And my music is available on all digital platforms. Big shout out to all my fans, my supporters. We just had a #1 single, #1 gospel song in the country. My Longing video's out on YouTube. Now Another Chance is out. That video is out. And we got another joint coming called HG Party. And this one is for the grown folk that like to two-step. I went to my Chicago side and put out a step record. So we get ready to come out with that video. So, you know, and then also, if you like to read, I got 3 books in the marketplace.
Yeah.
A whole lot going on. You're Not My Daddy, Guidelines to Becoming a Successful Stepfather, available at Barnes and Noble. This one, The Race to the Ring. Everybody want to be married, but you need to know what happens and what leads up to you being married. This is and was #1 seller on Amazon, national and international. Then we got The Bomb. This is the killer. Why he married her and played me. You got to get this book. This right here is crazy. Available on Amazon or everywhere digital books are sold as well.
I love it. I love it. I love it. All right, then. So for this evening, KROSS BARZ, we want to say thank you. We can find you on all social media platforms, of course. And we can also, KROSS BARZ, also you can find us on Twitter. You can find us on our website. You can find us on Instagram, KROSS BARZ. KROSS BARZ, we're taking it out, y'all. You ready? All right, peace.